be honest, how much time was spent in front of the mirror working on that Michael Jackson?
See, that's not much time in front of the mirror. I'm a dancer in my day, and so don't let the 4 kids fool you. I had to lure their mom in somehow. You know what I mean?
Did you have to explain what that was to Hayner and Rattler? Did they have any idea what
you were good. That's a really good point. But to their credit, they knew who he was, and so that's a good question. I should have used that one.
It's not supposed to look this easy the way you're all moving offensively, especially early in the year. See around the league, scoring's down. Yeah. What do you think? What's going on?
I don't have the answers for everything. I don't know why scoring is one way or why this or that. All I know is that we believe in one another, and we had a really hard off season. We had a really hard training camp. You could ask anybody in there. It was the workouts, the practices. It was tough. It was really hard, but it led for moments like this. And so, there were probably days where we were pissed at DA or something like that. For man, guys, pads again. This, like all football players gripe about. But I guarantee you now, every single man in that locker room is thankful for those hard days, for the way that we've started this year. But again, we're thankful for the start. Get off to a fast start, but as we all know, like next week's a whole different test. So.
Yeah, I said this before, but going against that defense in practice every day, how helpful is that just to get out to a fast start, knowing that on days you struggle, you're struggling against this defense?
Yeah, 100%. I think, y'all saw it best, like the back and forth during camp, or during OTAs, whatever, and. Like, wow, that's pretty cool. Or, hey, man, the defense looks good now. Hey, the offense made some play. And usually when it's back and forth like that, especially when it's a good defense, it's a good sign for your offense. And, for us, what a challenge every single day that you wake up. Like, you have to set your mind to come compete against them, And it 100% helped us as a football team. The way that they attack the football, the way that they, make the windows tight. We had some tight window throws today, and I just remember just throwing that rep in practice, and I see it in the game today. And it's like, man, I'm thankful for, Debo and Tay and Marshawn being that close on the coverage. I'm thankful for that because then when we get in the game, we're used to that. And there's so many examples, but yeah, going against our defense all year definitely made us a better football team on offense.
Derek, I get the impression you've always worked hard in the offseason, but you talked about your recognition that you wanted to start fast in this offense. Was there anything that you did that you would consider different than what you have done in the past?
Yeah, I kind of hit on it in camp, before, OTA practice or before training camp practice, me and JT would go out. I'd just ask him, like, hey, meet me out there early. And Trailer would come out there, and he would go through the whole practice for me because I've been through, not being funny, but I've been through learning offenses a lot. And I'm like, man, how do I start faster this time? How can I be better this time, than I've ever been, at starting in a new offense? And I was like, I always learn it. I always, know it, but it's the reps. And so we were doing double practices. I would run through the practice, all my reps, and then we'd take about 10 minutes, take a break, and then start the real practice. And so it was really just getting those extra reps in, and a lot of extra meetings, a lot of extra time. I'm sure Clint was really tired of me coming back up there every day, but I promised our team and I promised our city I would do everything in my power. And I was not going to be perfect, but I was going to do everything in my power, exhaust everything that I could even begin to imagine to try and just be better this year. And so far, we've started off good.
And Derek, on the flip side, Dennis Allen thinks one of the things that's helped you is taking some things off your plate.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you said part of the reason you chose to come here is you want a lot on your plate. Is that
it's
someone
funny.
have to tie you down and force you to do that, or did you see the light in that, or what?
Oh yeah, it definitely. I had to bite my tongue a lot, because I'm so used to playing a certain way, but change isn't always a bad thing, And again, excuse me, there's things that Clint lets me, communicate with him, and there is some say so. It's not like I'm just standing back there with my hands behind my back, But it is a lot different than what I'm used to. But I'm thankful for it because there's like this happy medium, of doing what we're doing and doing the things that I want to do and the way that my mind works. but also me, taking a step back and saying, okay, what's best for our team? What's best for me? What's best for everybody around me? Yeah, maybe, Derek can do that, but can all the other 10 handle that, and that? It's different for everybody. It's just not just how my brain works, how everybody's brain works. And so there's a lot of things that sometimes you got to take a step back as a leader and say, okay, what's the best thing for all of us? And they've done a great job of just letting me be free and just letting me be, me, just be an athlete, go play quarterback. And so far it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun.
Is there something about this offense that fits what you do well, like that marriage? And can you identify what that is? I mean, certainly the numbers would seem to back that up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a tough one to answer for yourself. I've been comfortable in everything that I've ever done. There's some things that I prefer to do than others, and in this offense, it allows me to do a lot of the things that I like to do. I'll say it that way. There's a lot of, without getting too into it, I don't want anyone knowing what I like and what I don't like. But there's a lot of things in this offense that the way Clint does things and the way he sets me up for success, puts me in positions for success. It allows me to, do a lot of things that I enjoy doing as a quarterback. And so, today we had there was a protection thing. Usually, we don't. I was able to do a protection thing, and so I'm still able to be myself, but within this system. And so it's been a really cool marriage of that. And me and Clint just getting to know each other. That we're only 2 games in, and so we're still learning each other. There's questions last night. It's like, you want this one on this hash, or what are you thinking? If you call this, do you want me to? There's still those questions. We're still learning each other and getting better, but he's still putting me and our guys in position to be comfortable and be successful.
Post again to Shaheed.
Uh-huh.
Was it the same look as last week? Was it a different look? What did you see?
It was cloud to his side, which is insane that he outran that. Cloud to his side, quarters on the left, my left, and I don't even know. I mean, God blessed him to be able to run really fast, and I just prayed that ball got there because he was I came out of that fake with the coverage, and I was like, I'm thinking Chris all the way. Like I'm gonna have to throw this on to Chris unless the corner gets there. I'll check it down. And as soon as I turned around, I saw Sheed already that far down the field. I was like, holy crap, he's outrunning him. Like the play, everyone's gonna see it. Wow, what a play! The way he ran and the angle he took was so just elite. Like it. I just wanted to hug him, afterwards. Like, thank you so much for seeing that the way that you saw that. Because I saw it and I'm like, please see it. And he hit it and I was like, oh my gosh, like this guy, he's different. He's a game changer for sure.
Think of his ability his ability to track a ball, because those aren't easy to catch.
No doubt. Especially when some of those I'm throwing early. I'm throwing them really high too, so it's hard to gauge them when they're really high too. Especially with that state, the lights are so bright, for those guys. It's. All that stuff matters, and for him to be able to track them every time and be able to make a play on that football is really impressive. I think a lot of guys can run fast, but a lot of guys can't track the ball, so it's really good catch by you because he's really good at that.
That was actually going to be my question, so I'll shift to a different one. Look, the offensive line got a lot of criticism this offseason. A lot of people wondering if they were going to hold up against a very talented defensive front. So to see him through 2 weeks, I think only 2 sacks for you, 5 yards off the rushing offense. I mean, what do you think about the way those guys have played?
Yeah, same thing I've been saying to y'all. I'm just really proud of them, because no one they see the outcome, but they don't see the work that they put in, and the cohesiveness that they have, and the bond that they have, and the time they're spending together, the unity. That I'm just really proud of them, and we just got to keep that same mindset. Keep that same mindset, keep the same chips on our shoulder, and just keep going. But I'm really proud of those guys, the way that they're playing.
Derek, what you were talking about with the going out before practice with the script, how did you kind of arrive at that conclusion that might work? Like, did someone give you advice, or how did you kind of reach, like, I should try this?
Yeah, I mean, I take advice from a lot of people. The people that I care about. Drew's one of them. I talk to him a lot. Peyton's another one. I'm thankful for those guys for giving me hours of their time during the off season. And one of the things that I would hear while they were saying is just it's the reps. Those reps. And I was like, well, how does that? Okay, that's awesome. How does that translate for me? And the reps thing is like I always felt more comfortable towards the middle and end of seasons. And I was like, well, what if I just get more reps beforehand? Like, I don't know, and try everything, and it ended up helping. And so to where I just feel more comfortable at the beginning of the year starting in a new offense. But definitely credit to those guys, asking them questions, and then, really not just asking them questions to ask them, but like these are Hall of Famers, asking those guys questions, picking their brain, and I'm so thankful for their time that they gave me, because they poured into my life, and it's benefited our team, and I appreciate that.
You started doing that as early as OTA?
I'm sorry?
You started doing that with
Yeah, I think it was. I can't remember what practice exactly, but I was like, it was that. Yeah.
So did that like golf outing with Drew kind of lead to that at all? Since you were spending hours with him, and he's kind of known for taking mental reps, like was that one of the things you'll discuss?
We were definitely talking about it. I think we were on the phone before that. We had talked like really close to after the season, and then during the golf outing, we were more hanging out, having fun, and still talking about things. But I'll forever be grateful for the advice you get. Anything you can get from those guys, it's like gold for a quarterback. And so they definitely helped me for sure.
You scored on your first 9 possessions last week. Today you scored touchdowns in your first 6. And you ran for 180 yards in both games. I mean, did this feel like a replay of last week? Did that kind of success?
Yeah, I felt we were able to run the football, and anytime you can run the football and win the line of scrimmage, every coach is going to talk about it. Everyone's going to preach it till they're blue in the face. But our guys, they've just been executing really well up front. And in football, you go as the trenches go. And our guys have bought into the system. We bought into the culture, the coaching, and you see the work paying off. You see what our guys have done, what our offensive line and our tight ends and our backs, our receivers, what all those guys have done in the first 2 weeks is really incredible and really selfless. You see Sheed in there throwing his hat in there, getting a block. We'll all talk about the touchdown. His Madden rating will go up, and I'll go, great, yeah, awesome. But his willingness to go throw his hat in there, Chris's willingness to go throw his hat in there on a weak side run and take 3 guys out last week. Everyone's like, well, the man made the play of the day, making that block on that run. This game is a team game. It's a selfless game. And when you're a team and when you're selfless, these kind of days can happen, and our guys are fully bought into that. And it's, for me, it just as one of the leaders of this team, that makes me so happy to see. Because you never know whose days it's going to be, who's going to have the big day. And to see our guys buy into that the first couple of weeks has been really cool.
Derek, what have you noticed the ways, the differences in how you guys are able to get element out of space?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot in the system, just the plays, the design, things like that. That, again, you talk about a hard worker, that guy's unbelievable, the way he finishes in practice and things like that. But, it's really the design of things. Just, I really believe Clint and those guys, do a really good job of just, the playmakers in space, the speed, going this way, going that way, covering the, whole field, sideline to sideline, goal line to goal line, just putting speed everywhere and getting guys in space. And our guys do a really good job of that.
You guys have converted a handful of third and mediums with the run game.
Yep.
What's confidence in that? You see a lot of teams pass in those situations.
Absolutely. You get different looks on third down, and DA has a lot of trust in us to go for it on fourth down. And they, there's times where he's like, hey, we're going to kick the field goal here. And I know that on third down, so I know that based on my decision. Or I hear, hey, we got 4 downs. Okay, well, if the run's there, great. We can still run the football here. And a lot of teams have crazy blitz pressures, but we got to do a good job of getting on their side of the field or in what we consider our 4-down territory to be able to run the ball like that and be able to make plays like that. And so when our guys execute them and all that, it helps the offense line. Like I said, being able to do that on third down helps the O-line. It helps the receivers. When teams don't know what we're going to do and when we're going to do it, that right there is like balanced football, like situationally, not just play call wise too. That right there is gold to us. And so, again, we've been in a lot of those situations where it's, hey, we got 4 downs here. Shoot, run it. If we get the look, you get lighter boxes. You get the speed guys coming on the field as the big guys are jogging off. That's a good time to run it, And maybe there'll be a time where we don't even run it one time, But it just depends on. Every game's going to be different, but so far, just the way things have played out, we've been able to hit a couple of those.
Going back to the level of buy-in, what does it say about Tyler Fuaga making himself available today?
Yeah, awesome. I hugged him, said I love you. I said thank you for battling through it. Yeah. Especially with the way people are wired nowadays. I was taught if it works at all, you'll be out there. And to see that in a young guy is really impressive because you never know. You never know. I've seen some crazy things in my 11 years, but when he stepped out there, I said, "You gonna be good?" And without a hesitation, he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna be good. I'll be there." And he went out and he competed and he played really well. To see that from a rookie in his second game against a really good defense, against a really good football team, it says a lot about him, and our teammates should be really thankful that he's on our football team.
Derek, I know you already touched on the touchdown celebration, but how did that come up with your brothers? Like, did they throw ideas at you?
No, I'm a dancer. People don't know a lot of stuff about me, but they see me like all the time at weddings or birthdays and music. I'm always dancing, and so one time I hit the Michael Jackson. They were like, "Bro, you got to do that when you score one time." So I did it, and they made an edit, and I posted it. That's what. That's how.
Is that where the insurance commercial comes from? I've seen that video.
Yes, so it's a bank commercial, and Virgin Records thought it was real. They thought that was really me singing. It was not me singing. It was a bank commercial. But I told my business manager, I said, "You should have told him. We would have made a record." I was like, "That would have been easy."
Trying to get a deal done with you, or what happened?
I didn't know. I have no idea how it ended, but I would have taken that. That would have been awesome.
Hey, Derek, in terms of Rashid, like, we've asked him a lot about expanding his route tree, having a different role, but is there something to just like tapping into what he does best as well? Like, I'm wondering how you've seen this offense kind of utilize playmaker strengths in that sense.
Absolutely. It goes back to what we talked about in the off-season training camp. We got a lot of things that look the same but are different, even with route stems. Boom, boom, he's doing this, he's running by you, he's doing this. We talk about the touchdown, but he ran a 5-yard route over the ball in the briar patch. We gave it to him. He gets vertical and gets some yards for us. If he can do all that kind of stuff for us, that is huge. But then you see him do run a post. We're not going to go into a game without him having one. At some point, someone's going to play a coverage or whatever. They're going to cover it. We got to go somewhere else, which they did today a couple of times. He's doing everything we've asked him. Him and 12. They're both doing everything we've asked them with all the speed and the things they can do. They're doing everything that's asked of them by the coaches. And I think that when you're that selfless, things just work out for you, especially in football.
This team scored 40 points back-to-back games. It's only the second time franchise history. The other time was Super Bowl year.
Wow.
Did you see this coming?
I'll tell you what, the people in that locker room, well, none of them are in there now. We've been here a minute. All my teammates that were in there and coaches, we all believe in one another. And so, we expected it. Our expectation was high for ourselves. We always talk about we don't play to the scoreboard, we play to the standard. And so our standard, we wanted to set our standard as leaders this offseason to just be different. And so far it's paying off. And so, 40 points, awesome. Like, at the end of the day, you guys hopefully know me about, I just want to win. And so 40 points is awesome and it's cool. Second time you said in franchise history, that is cool. That is awesome. That should make a lot of people feel good. But at the end of the day, we won the football game. Like, as long as we can keep doing that, I'll be happy. But, our expectation is like whatever it takes to win. And, that's just our mindset, how we're approaching it. And whatever the outcome is like, wow, that's awesome that happened. But our mindset was we believe in one another. And we talked big about that at our captain's dinner. Tyron was like, man, we got to believe in each other, the way that we've shown it all year, man. Let's just keep believing in one another. And we really genuinely believe in one another and love and care for each other. And, when you have a group of guys like that and that are talented and that work hard, days like this can happen. And so hopefully we can keep doing it. It makes it a lot of fun, but we got a lot of work to do still. Thank y'all.